The Entire History of You is the last episode of the first season of Black Mirror, and overall a pretty strong episode. In short, we have this thing called grains that play back your memories, and anything you see, and plant it in your brain. Imagine like a built-in GoPro or Google Glass. The episode heavily focuses on the decaying of relationship of Leon and Fee, as Fee has an affair with a friend named Jonas. Now his affair is fully realized through the effects of the grain. Today, in this episode, we'll be looking at the idea of the past, if the grain has essentially removed the idea of the past, and the latest episode called We're Going to Really Stretch This Theory Far. Well, what do you mean? The past is still the past. Well, thank you for asking. For this idea, we're going to borrow a little bit from the theory of eternalism. Eternalism is the idea that the past, present, and the future all exist at the same time, which is the opposite of presentism, which is the idea that anything happening in the present exists. Definitions aside, focus on the idea that the past, present, and future are all happening at the same time. What happens is the idea of time is stripped away. Take away the idea of the flow of time, and what do you have? It's a weird idea because we only exist in what we have right now. Since the past has happened, the future has yet to happen. All the while, we can't fully see the past. We mostly see it in blips of faded memory or brief moments of video. Best example I can give you this is a clip from a motion comic of Watchmen by Alan Moore and Dr. Manhattan. Here's a short clip that really, shows us the best.
Ferris wheel pauses. 7 seconds now. It's October 1985. I'm on Mars. It's July 1959. I'm in New Jersey at the Palisades Amusement Park. 4 seconds.
Now, was that clip fully necessary? Probably not, but I love Watchmen, so. Okay, so now back to the entire history review. What the grain does is it, like I said before, is able to play back almost the past in its entirety, while it can make folders of certain people and certain events at any given time that a person can go back to and visit the past. Now, I will submit and say that we can't visit the future, but hey, we're not all perfect, and exactly everything that I mentioned in the first part won't match up as well, but it's the ideas that matter. But Liam's life is very interconnected with the past. At the meeting in the beginning, he immediately reverts back to the past to understand what he might have done wrong and how the audience, the other lawyers, felt about his performance. This is immediately looked at again at the dinner party. Now at dinner parties, stories from the past and conversations relating to work are seen now, but just in conversational pieces. But now, we're actually able to display that work on the TV so that everyone can see and react to. The fluidity of time in this episode can best be shown in one of the creepy sex scenes. Here, we have Liam and Fee having sex in the present while watching memories of them having sex in the past, with having knowledge of the future because of what the sex will bring them. Here, all three ideas are happening at the same time. I mentioned the future in this example since Liam and Fee are both not really in the present. They're physically in the present, but they're mentally in the past. So, they must have some sort of future knowledge of when it will end since they, like I said before, they're in two different times here. Another example of the fluidity of time is when Liam wakes up in the wreck. Here, he has no idea of the present and of the future. He only has knowledge of the past and how he got to the point that he is now. Without having the grain, Liam would only be able to rely on whatever he could remember from his drunken rage, which presumably wouldn't have been very little. But the grain gave him the past memory to be able to still react to the present and to the future with the consequences of being drunk at the same time and the memory being reduced to nothing. As you can see, memory being reduced to nothing, as you can still be held for the consequences in the future. What I mean here is that Liam has no idea how he got to the point that he was at now. Even though he was in a drunken blind rage, normal people would have very well forgotten what would have happened. The whole soul is recorded live on his grain. He could play back the grain, cliched by saying, "How did I get here?" and try to piece the puzzles together like it was the hangover. All that knowledge gained here was from the past and being able to revisit the past directly. And since he was able to revisit the past, it also affects the present and the future. Now this crime, recorded live on camera, segues perfectly to my next point. So just one more example to hammer home this idea. The airport, the guards in the present look at the past to make sure you didn't commit any acts that would immediately affect the present or any types that could happen in the future. To make sure you may not have murdered someone or making deals with terrorists. I don't know, you get the idea. Is that the cops are able to look at the past to directly predict the future. Imagine like some sort of backwards Minority Report where they looked at the future to solve crimes in the present. Here we look at the past to solve crimes in the present and potentially in the future. I'm assuming that the airports are probably pretty clear of any criminals now because any criminal would just be caught right there and there. I'm assuming that criminals either A, don't wear the grain, or B, just travel by car. The entire history of you does so well is it takes a rather human story. What I mean by that is it's not some grandiose adventure that wouldn't make it seem real. At its core, it's a story about a husband finding out about his cheating wife. It takes a huge science fiction idea and relates it back to a real world scenario where the protagonist is not really a hero in this adventure. He's just some sort of anti-hero, just trying to figure out who his wife has been snoodle portaling with, while at the same time blending ideas of time and the idea how time is essentially becoming one. There's really no more past, and the past is now very much intervened with the present and the future. One can experience the past while at the same time experiencing the present and in the future. That's just some really convoluted stuff here that, I don't know, may be a little weird to wrap your mind around, because the idea of 3 different times is so prevalent in our own societies. Now, am I been 100% accurate in this analysis? Probably not. But the general ideas that I'm trying to convey, I hope I conveyed. I just hope I conveyed it correctly, or at least did some sort of justice to it. But that's all I got for this episode. So tell me how you feel about the history of you, the idea of time, and being able to look clearly back on the past, and would you do it? I also think in the next video I might try to upload something with House of Cards, so be on the lookout for that. Comment, rate, subscribe. All links relating to ideas of internalism in the motion comic Watchmen will be down below. And as always, have a great day.